Hello, this is SM Shoikat and I'm the Executive Director of CERAC Bangladesh. In response to the questions, how could NGOs contribute more to the process of ECOSOC and its subsidiary bodies, is first thing that we understand is the NGOs could take and learn from the holistic approach, especially the inclusivity of the ECOSOC bodies, especially considering the persons with disabilities, considering the persons, other minority groups, including the indigenous people. So the NGOs, those are in consultative status, could really think of this holistic approach and take those as their basic principles to understand and implement development agenda in the field. This could be one of the major things that the NGOs could contribute in the field. At the same time, they could bring up the experiences from the field after the implementation and then contribute in the process of the next level of development throughout the through any of the subsidiary bodies they are engaged to. What are the efficient model, which is that NGOs could be more into the UN policy making, is one thing that we found more efficient is that the NGOs have diverse programs in the field, and most of them are interacting with the government and other development works in there. So to make sure that the sustainable development goals are achieved, NGOs must be given some scope and more extensive scope and voices in the process, especially how they think the UN should be more effective. This is really vital, and how NGOs, how a better support NGOs could receive from the UN-ECOSOC is really vital, because so it shouldn't be as strugglesome for NGOs in the developing world and the countries in economic transition and in conflict, because they are already struggling in the field. It shouldn't be more struggle to get into the process of UN-ECOSOC. How could NGOs be more getting the UN consultative status in this process should be made more easier, what I feel. And also the scrutiny should be there at the same time, because you cannot take like the groups that do not adhere to the values of the United Nations. So this should be taken more carefully. At the same time, I think what NGOs could contribute, when they are granted the consultative status, is something that they should be allowed opportunities to interact in the formal space, not just being the observer in the back gallery. Because and also they have limitations to resources, and ECOSOC may mobilize those resources from the governments, the respective governments. Not just take the handpicked group of NGOs to interact with them in the UN space, but rather they ensure that that all the groups, even the critic groups, could be there, to talk to them, to learn and to share their experiences with the government and the UN process. So this should be more inclusive, more interactive, and then the development agenda. We are expecting the development agenda we are projecting by 2030 could be achieved. Thank you.